Hello everyone, welcome to our channel.
Hello.
Today we're going to talk about a topic that I'm sure will interest every viewer and might even make you a bit uncomfortable as you watch. Maybe you can't focus because your brain no longer finds anything interesting enough. Maybe the problem isn't you, but your dopamine system. Today I want to talk about attention deficit. If you're ready, let's get started.
Yes,
Is the problem with focusing only related to attention deficit?
our problem with focusing is not just an issue of attention deficit. Well, the things that affect our focus performance are attention deficit, impulsivity, hyperactivity, and our timing performance. We may be able to focus, but if we have difficulty focusing, then a timing problem arises. If our brain is impulsive and we get bored of things quickly, naturally we lose our focus quickly. Actually, this is somewhat related to the pleasure center of our brain. We've overstimulated that area. In other words, we've constantly focused on things that give us pleasure. And naturally, we can't concentrate much on things that require attention or are boring. So our attention performance deteriorates. And hyperactivity is also a neurological disorder. And then there is also true attention deficit. This is also something related to the dopamine level in our brain, as you mentioned. Should I explain the dopamine hormone a bit?
Yes.
Yes. Dopamine is our reward hormone. It's a hormone released when we achieve something. At the same time, it also increases our ability to focus, or when we do something that we truly enjoy, dopamine is also released. As a result, we can focus more on that activity. For example, in studies conducted with individuals who genuinely have attention deficit, we see that they can't focus when they need to study. But when he's doing something he enjoys, such as playing a game, we see that he can sit by for hours. This is actually the clearest explanation for this.
I understand.
Yes?
So how does an individual understand that he or she has attention deficit? For example, when I watch a television series or a movie, I expect it to affect me the moment I turn it on.
Uh-huh.
If it doesn't grab me for the first minute after I open it, I can leave it and freeze the screen and then go to TikTok. I can scroll 2 or 3 times on TikTok and then go to Twitter.
Yes?
So, for example, if something makes me laugh on TikTok at that moment or catches my attention, I stay there. I forget the movie. For example, does everyone like this have this disorder?
Yes?
I mean,
Now, Zeynep, I think our videos are falling victim to this a bit. Yes, we're still a new channel, but I guess we can't really attract people's attention. Yes. Now, especially in recent years, look, there are two main problems with this. First, due to the intense use of social media, the pleasure center in our brain has been abused. Most people aren't aware of what you just mentioned, and this leads to performance issues in activities that require long-term focus.
for example, the rate of reading books has also dropped.
Of course, exactly.
Or, for instance, shorts get watched more. Why? Because maybe it gives short and instant gratification.
For example, when we share shorts or reels that are 30 or 35 seconds long, I look at the statistics and see that the average watch time is, say, 9 seconds, 10 seconds. A person's focus performance can't possibly be this short. There can't possibly be this many people with attention deficit problems in the world. If that's the case, it means our genetic makeup has deteriorated. In other words, we could say that attention deficit is now being passed down genetically from generation to generation.
So, could this be a habit? Instead of attention deficit.
Actually, that's what most people have.
Hmm.
Yes, the brain has a very interesting structure. There is even a metaphorical explanation like this. So, which is smarter, the stomach or the brain?
Uh-huh.
It is said that the stomach is smarter when it comes to, because the stomach knows what is bad for it. Since the brain is structured to seek pleasure, whatever gives it pleasure, and if we can't control our impulses, which actually stems from childhood, habits formed in childhood, for example, and I especially say this to parents, pay attention to this with your children. Sometimes deliberately give them a no as an answer, or don't satisfy them with too many things. For example, let's say phones, tablets, or toys. A little girl doesn't need 30 or 40 dolls, or that many toys, or modeling clay. A child doesn't need modeling clay in 50 different colors. They keep consuming and discarding, consuming and discarding. In fact, we instill consumer habits from childhood. This is also something that fosters impulsive behaviors. Now, when this is the case for most people, if our ability to control impulses isn't strong meaning, if our impulsiveness has been reinforced since childhood, and our brain's pleasure-seeking nature has developed, we have difficulty focusing. Yes?
So this is something that goes back to childhood. The era in which we grew up also has an impact.
Yes, the way we were raised also has an impact in this one.
So what can we change in our lives after being diagnosed with attention deficit disorder? So how can we prevent this?
Look, let me even speak assertively. Let's say there really is a problem with our brain's dopamine system. It cannot be secreted enough. This may also lead to attention deficit, or we have hyperactivity, or we have impulsivity in a clinically pathological sense. Treatment without medication is possible.
How?
It's very simple. So, first of all, we will train our brains to get bored.
But how do I get used to it?
Isn't this very difficult?
Yes.
Yeah, so...
Even the thought of it made me nervous. So I can't watch something that bores me?
Yes.
Like?
Yes.
That is, if I can't get out of there and into TikTok at that moment, what am I going to do?
Okay. Look, notice this, okay? Everyone should notice the moment you get bored, your ability to focus drops, right?
Yes.
But who's the boss here? Is it your brain? Is it your brain's pleasure center, or is it you?
My brain.
If it's you, then what is your brain's pleasure center? You need to be able to control it. Whatever you expose your brain to, it starts to learn that.
So I turned on the movie.
Yes?
Let me watch it while feeling bored for a bit. For example, let me try to stay focused for half an hour.
For example, of course, you can go step by step.
I see.
Yes? There's also something we call subconscious learning. After all, our ears are still hearing and our eyes keep seeing. So thanks to neurotransmission, is it okay? It continues to transmit stimuli to the brain. Even if we get bored and focus, our brain continues to transmit the data it receives from the environment, right?
Yes.
For example, we started watching a movie and got bored in the first 10 minutes. Let's keep watching it for 20 minutes. Then let's pause it. What did you understand from the movie during those 20 minutes?
It's like an exam.
Yes, review yourself.
I don't know if it's correct. We're just having a conversation. You're explaining things. While you're talking, things also come to my mind. We have experienced similar events. I need to tell them right away. For example, interrupt your conversation and intervene.
Yes.
Is that the case, for example, not being able to listen to the other party? Distraction.
It might be a bit impulsive. Well, yes, because sometimes I hear this from people too. I have to say it because I forget.
Yes, for example, I say it immediately. I interrupt before the other person finishes their sentence and say my own sentence.
Yes?
I say it, then I feel bad about it. I say, sorry, I forgot your point though.
Because I might forget.
Exactly.
Yes? So, friends, look, whatever we expose our brain to, that's what it learns. Alright? It could also be a process or a task that requires us to focus more. As long as we don't run away from this, as long as we don't return to our comfort zone, our brain will, of course, resist at first, but if we expose ourselves to it with determination, the brain will have to learn it.
I understand.
Yes? For example, since Generation Z was naturally born into technology, we see this much more in them. And I give certain exercises to my clients, especially those who are preparing for exams or students who are having problems with their academic attention performance in their classes. You can do this as well. We put a small glass of orzo into a kilo of rice. and then we ask them to pick out all the orzo pieces with tweezers. Isn't that an incredibly boring thing to do?
Very.
Well, it has to be boring.
I mean, extremely boring.
If you can make it to the end,
Yes.
alright? That means you've made progress that day.
Does this really work?
Yes? But of course, think of this as a training exercise.
I need to try it.
You should try it. You can start by doing it 3 or 4 times a week.
I think this video has been very useful for me as well.
For example, reading books upside down.
How?
Yes? I mean, the brain doesn't really want to focus too much on what it has already learned.
You know, we're a generation that tries to reach happiness very quickly. Thoughts that feel distant like that, for example, tire me out.
For example, this exercise I just mentioned also teaches patience. It also improves fine motor skills if we do it with tweezers. Did you know that the more we pay a price, the more we get bored, the more we struggle during a process, and as long as we don't give up and reach our goal, the more dopamine our brain releases. It's directly proportional. That's when we feel more pleasure.
Then let's give it a try.
Yes?
This.
So, of course, people who genuinely have significant attention deficit and have been diagnosed with it should get support from attention deficit medication. But now, I also noticed something there. For example, they use attention deficit medication every day.
They get used to it.
Yes, use attention deficit medication only when you really need to focus. Now, of course, I don't have much pharmacological knowledge, but do you know why? The brain gets used to painkillers. After a while, the dose of that painkiller you use is no longer enough for you. It's the same with the attention deficit medication. If you don't do exercises to improve your focus performance while using attention deficit medication, you actually end up increasing your impulsivity even more. In other words, you end up making a process that could have gone well turn out badly. Yes?
I understand. Thank you.
Yes?
I hope
Honestly, I don't know. Hopefully we won't run into any impulsive viewers.
I could end this video too. Thank you. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and join us in the comments.
Yes? Your comments and experiences are very important to us. Seeing that we've been helpful to you and that we've raised awareness really makes us very happy. See you in the next video.